this far to seriously overrun the United States Capitol. I just don't think, and I'm sure the Capitol Police had extra people on duty, went to 12-hour shifts, all days off canceled. Every department in that region has activated their emergency plans. But who could have anticipated this? I mean, I'm watching it, and it's like watching a bad B movie. I haven't seen anything like it. If I seem a little upset, it's because I am. I mean, this is the United States of America. That's our United States Capitol.
No, I think we all feel this way.
To protect and defend it.
Well, I think we all feel that way. You might feel also something different because you were once the police chief of the Metropolitan Police Department here in D.C. And so this is, in many ways, I would think, your worst nightmare and something that you work very hard with all of your police officers to make sure never happened.
Exactly right. And we had major demonstrations. If you remember back in the IMF World Bank days, we had major demonstrations in the city. And some of them got pretty close to losing it. But we never had anything even come close to coming this far. And again, they have to gain control. They take the gloves off and do what they got to do, but they got to get control and get that Capitol back.
The Capitol Police are asking for additional law enforcement assistance. I imagine that would be the Metropolitan Police Department. It would be the U.S. Secret Service, perhaps even the National Guard, U.S. Park Police, of course.
Park Police.
And what would you do? How do you clear it out? Obviously, people have a right to peaceably protest. That's not what this is, because they have stormed the Capitol and stopped congressional action. I don't know that anything like this has happened since the days of the Vietnam War, frankly, when protesters for the Vietnam War used to go in there and block the halls of Congress to try to stop proceedings.
Yeah, they're going to have to really get enough resources there so they can start to move the crowd. And they're going to have to push. I don't know if they're going to use gas or not, but as far as I'm concerned, you do what you have to do to clear the Capitol.
And let me make clear.
You just can't have this.
Let me make clear. I'm not comparing what's going on here to Vietnam War protesters. Those people were trying to stop a war, and these people are trying to start one.
But I think what you're saying, because we're both old enough to remember, those are protests that did get out of hand. They got very violent on both sides, both from law enforcement and from protesters. And so I haven't seen anything like it since then, obviously. But this is unprecedented, even for that era. It didn't go that far, even in that era.
No, and those were generally peaceful protesters, and storming the Capitol is not peaceful protest. Chief Ramsey, thanks so much. Stay there. We're going to come back to you. I want to go back to Manu Raju, who's in Capitol Hill. And Manu, I'm hearing from a lot of Democrats and Republican Congress people who are frankly disgusted, shocked, and some of them are even scared.
Yeah, a lot of people are scared, Jake, because this is an escalating, chaotic situation. Police do not have it under control. There is, we're told, an armed standoff outside the House floor. It's unclear exactly how that has been resolved at the moment. There are members inside the House chamber. It's been locked. Other members have been evacuated to various parts of the Capitol complex. Senators also have been evacuated as well, and many locking themselves in their offices, told not to leave. Now, we were also just told that the members who are in the House, they have been told that there is tear gas in the rotunda, and to push back against any of these protesters, there's tear gas, so potentially that could become an issue here as this situation develops. And they've been told that there are masks under their seats in the House chamber that they can certainly put on if they need to. So there are members who have been told to go to shelter in place. Everybody has been told to shelter in place in this building. We have all been told we cannot leave this building because of the fact that there are protesters in all parts of the Capitol, on the House side and the Senate side, through all levels. There have been reports of violent clashes between protesters and demonstrators, protesters and police trying to arrest some of these demonstrators, seeing violent violent interactions between the two sides, and just feet from where the House was just gathering to debate the certification of Joe Biden's election victory, that armed standoff occurring. Again, that is unclear how that is resolved, but they've been told there is tear gas that's ready to be deployed if necessary as this escalating situation continues here, Jake.
If you're just joining us, it is almost 3 o'clock, and normally the House and Senate would be counting the electoral votes for the president-elect, Joe Biden, in this case, but that has stopped. The proceedings have stopped because Trump supporters have stormed the U.S. Capitol. There are violent confrontations going on. Members of Congress have been told to shelter in place. Many members of Congress, Trump supporters and Biden supporters alike, are appalled and scared. And frankly, it is appalling and it is frightening. We are witnessing an attempt at sedition. We are witnessing an attempt at a forceful overthrow of the U.S. government, or at least of the proceedings, the U.S. constitutionally prescribed proceedings of the counting of electoral votes. Let's go to Brian Todd, who is there amidst the chaos. Brian, what are you witnessing?
Stand by here. Well, Jake, if you can see, our photojournalist Christine Leon is going to kind of zoom in to pass this flag when they go by. You can see protesters standing on top of some government vehicles that are parked at the foot of the stairs here on the east side. Now, in the last couple of minutes, we have seen some protesters make their way down the stairs. They're taking their time going down, so they really do not believe they're being pushed away by any law enforcement. And Christine, if you can pan to your left there, you can see the Capitol Hill police on the left side of the balcony there. They've been standing there for several minutes, waiting for orders, seemingly. Some of them have donned riot gear, but they are right now observers to this situation. Now again, the crowd, some of them have left the stairs, but they're still, clearly as you can see, a lot of protesters on the stairs. We can also tell you that they have made their way up 3 sets of stairs here on the east side of the Capitol. 2 on either side of us, but not as dense as the crowd is not as dense on the other side, on the other stairways, as it is here. But these people clearly are emboldened. They don't feel any urgency to move. And the real question here, Jake, is when is law enforcement going to show up in force to try to get these people out? We do know that the mayor has instituted a curfew for 6 p.m., but that's a few hours from now. The question is, when are they going to show up to try to move some of these people out? They may be trying to address the situation inside the Capitol first before they move on these people, because we did see some Washington Metropolitan Police show up, about 20 of them, a short time ago, and they moved around to the side of the building, seemingly to try to go inside. So they may be inside dealing with the situation inside before they move outside and deal with this. But these people don't show any inclination at all to move. And right now, they're not being forced to move at all, Jake.
For months, the president and his supporters on Capitol Hill and MAGA media have been lying to the American people, lying to Trump supporters about election fraud that did not happen. Court after court ruled that there was no evidence of it. The states have certified the election. The electors met. The Electoral College met. The election is over. Joe Biden won. Donald Trump lost. And yet, this is what he has